All right. I hope the live went well. The initiation of the introduction went well. What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me all right? If yes, if you are in the chat, just say hello so that I know that you're hearing me well. Audio, visual, all okay. It's been a while since I've done a live session, so I've got to check whether the audio and the video is actually going in good. All right. Well, anyway, it should be. It looks all right from where I am right here. So, hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to this live. My name is John, and I'm a wedding and a portrait photographer based here in Malaysia. I specialize in wedding day photography and portraits. In this live session, we are going to discuss all things about wedding photography. It can be wedding photography production, capturing from anything lah, anything to do with wedding photography lah. And if you're looking for a wedding photographer, certainly you are at the right spot at the right show. Join me live every week. I'm trying to make this a every week kind of thing where I am able to come on at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday like this to address some of these wedding photography questions that you might have. And perhaps you can join me, right? And maybe I can also go through some of the portfolio that I've cooked up. And perhaps if you have any questions at all, drop in the chat. Now, if you're watching this later in the replays, drop me the question on the comment section, and perhaps maybe I'll answer them there, or perhaps even the next live show. Hi Robin. Hey, what's up, man? Finally a live stream. Yeah, you inspire me to actually get my ass together and perhaps maybe put together something and showcase some of my work to get things moving. Anyway, nice to have you here, Robin. Any question at all? If you have, Robin is a fellow photographer that he used to do a lot of weddings prior, and now he's actually a content creator on YouTube and he reviews camera. So if Robin, you have any photography question about weddings, I guess you can participate in this conversation. Otherwise, guys, do follow him at Robin Wong YouTube channel. You'll be able to search him there if you're into photography. I finally can return a favor, at least, to mention about you, Robin, since I've got a live show. Searching for wedding photographers is a very personal experience, I think, because wedding photography is subjective. You like what you like, right? And you look at the photos, you connect with it, you just like it if you like it. So the best way to know, what did I write over there? Well, the best way to learn about what you like is certainly view more of the wedding photographs out there, and hopefully you are drawn to a certain photographs that you can connect with. So I can't say the same about the other part that's beyond photography, because hiring a photographer is more than just like getting the photographs at the end of the day. Yes, you see them on your Instagram, you see them on your screen, perhaps even you print it out, right? It is more than that, because it is how me as a photographer and you as my client, my subject, we got to be able to work together to create something epic. It's how we can interact and gel, and how we communicate and experience the wedding shoot all together. So I hope this kind of live show can be done weekly, like I said, and I'm going to try to commit and come online weekly to speak about wedding photography. As I try to put it as layman as possible, in the sense of like not a photography gadget kind of show. We address people, we address real people that's wanting to be hiring a wedding photographer. How about that? So again, just to mention, if you are not watching live, you could certainly still participate. If you have any questions, just write down in the comments below. I'll either answer them there or I'll address you in the next session. Okay, so If you have any queries at all, if you want to be hiring me as a wedding photographer, you could scan the QR code or just come on to jonlow.com/John. It's a very easy URL to remember. You can drop me a message. A lot of my work that's wedding photography based and beyond wedding photography is all that in this particular link, so you can check it out. All right, without further ado, since this is my first week of doing this kind of life, I'm going to keep things simple for me, perhaps. I would share with you a wedding that I photographed in Langkawi, a portfolio to showcase to you. How about that? Let's dive straight away in. All right, we're going to quickly run through some of the photographs that essentially you may be getting from a wedding photographer like myself. All right, so this is actually shot over in Langkawi at a very pristine resort there at the Datai Langkawi. One of the nice place to get married in, I reckon, especially if you like greeneries, if you like outdoors, if you like the beach. I like this scene a lot because these mountains overlooking from the hotel view out to the open where you see these mountains. This is really beautiful, especially during the sunset times. Okay, so this is the Thai itself, the location. Okay, and today we're gonna be showcasing a wedding that I shot, Anusha and Michael, and that's the couple's name. So this is possibly I love this particular how to say, this portrait of the bride, and I make it the main photos that I'm sharing today. Okay, so on a wedding day, what we wedding photographer should, we tend to want to be documenting a wedding as it goes, as it progresses. So sort of like drawing you a complete story. It's not just about, say, oh, photo of you smiling. It's about things that is related to your wedding, like all these wedding details. I like this photo in the sense of like there's a ring detail over there. It highlights the location of the place that they're getting married in. A little bit of the timetable that's on the side to suggest what's happening, that kind of thing. So these are some of the wedding details that happen that I collect and put together and photograph them. Now, these are some flowers that the couple engaged. They engaged Darling Florist over in Langkawi. So they are a vendor over there, very reliable vendors. I worked together with them for the longest time. And I've got to story you about them in this particular in this particular collection, because that's something that happened that I don't think even my client actually knew what happened, but I tried to do, I, something didn't go as planned, at least for my part, and because of the vendors, because of the people that I know, when I'm shooting a wedding, it totally helped me in solving some problems and getting the wedding going. Okay, I'll story you later on when the photo actually suggests. So getting ready is part of process of wedding day photography. um a lot of times people question about, hey John, what to photograph, on a, getting ready, that kind of thing. I'm not dressed up, the makeup is not ready. Why are you photographing this? We want to be capturing moment like this, a little bit of like, again, the progression of a story. Again, getting ready doesn't mean that we got to photograph when you're totally not ready. In between shots, when you look good enough, when people are having a little bit of a moment, we photograph them, like, this kind of thing. That gives you a lot of room to play in terms of, say, planning a wedding. Like, for instance, perhaps it is a good time to actually gather all your bridesmaids together, your groomsmen together. You can get ready together. Well, this is a destination wedding. I know a lot of you guys that you are in KL. If you are planning a wedding, everybody is like getting ready from their own home and then come and meet up at your house or something like that. But a destination wedding like this, you can do something like that. You can dress up totally cutesy like this in their wedding robes that they are wearing, certainly during the makeup, and have all these kind of photos. And of course, you can party on pretty early on. You can have champagne when the sun's still up. The getting ready part is usually, say, if it's in Langkawi when we are shooting a wedding over there, it's usually in the afternoon. So, you can still chill and getting prepared and all. Now, guys, if you have any questions at all, just hit me up right over at the comment section and all. I'll respond. I'll respond pretty quickly. Yeah. Let me just continue. So these are some of the shots. It feels like to me, and I maybe it's a different hat that I got to play when I shoot a wedding. I got to be like a fly on the wall. Sounds creepy, but if I'm a fly on the wall, I get to get this kind of photos in a way, like a little bit of these moments. Like I said, the robe. The bridesmaids were wearing the bride's squad, while the bride is like, I think at this particular moment they were figuring out how to get the wedding gown ready. They wanted to straighten the dress before she putting it on, that kind of thing. So yeah, be a fly on the wall. Don't mind my coffee while I'm actually trying to story you guys. Makeup process for bridesmaids and the bride usually takes up some time. We have these photos done, and sometimes we get this particular photo, especially the one on the right. I love how the light actually falls onto the bride's face. Sometimes we get this kind of lighting when it comes to destination weddings like this, so it's kind of good. And champagne before they put on their dresses, before they actually head out to before they totally get ready, right? So we pop up the champagne, we take some photos, that kind of thing. And let's talk a little bit about the groom side. Usually, when we shoot weddings like this, we have two wedding photographers. Don't mind me for a while. Let me just. I got a burp. Excuse me. Yeah, I've got two wedding photographers that we work in tandem with. Right, while I may be shooting at the bride side, my other photographer will be photographing at the groom side. Now, I want you to take notice. These are some of the wedding details, right? And Robin says, "Coffee is life." Thank you, Robin. And I want you to take a look on this particular wedding detail. So you have these lilies, the boutonnieres for the groom and the groomsmen. You notice that it is white in color. So this is the right color. So the groom is going to be wearing beige, white, that kind of thing, while the groomsmen are wearing dark black. All right. So this is the actual photo that I delivered to them. Now, prior to this, what happened was that we got all of four of these buttons in black, right? So when I got it that time, I actually photographed it first in this location against the wood. I like this composition because the way it is like the groom's one is in front and then the back one is totally all bokeh and it's all blurred. So you lead the eye to that particular button. But what happened was, when I was photographing this photo, when it was in black, the groom's one black color, I said, it's such a dangerous photo to photograph because at any time, gravity works down and then one of the button falls down and I'll not be able to reach it. And guess what? When I was photographing it, once I did the last shot and I was happy, I collect all the flowers and I put it back to the living room. I said, phew, done. I managed to pull it off without any major problem. Later on, only we found out that hey, the groom one was supposed to be white, and then they sent the florist sent another one over, which is the white one. Which essentially, I took this photo, I laid them out all over again to this particular thing, right? And then you guess what? Once I photographed the last photo, I said, "Oh, job done." Before I even collect the flower, the groom's flower fell off the railing over here, and I was like, "Gosh." So, I kind of tried and go and retrieve it, but I couldn't. So what happened was I called up Darling because I know the vendors over there. And said, "Hey, I screwed up. The groom's one fell down. Can you make another new one?" So they are over at the beach, all right, before and it's like about an hour or two before the wedding. So there is certainly time. But so what happened was that I just kept quiet. I didn't say anything to anybody that the flower was missing, and people were like just going well married because there's no point telling them what happened and then they got to worry, oh, do I have a flower and whatsoever. I know for a fact that my guys, my vendors will be able to back me up, right? And they say when the groom was dressing up and all that time, what happened was that I say, oh, the flower's ready over at the ceremony site, and later on just pick it up when we are there, and everything was pretty fine after that. Right, so that was what happened. I was so freaking nervous. I can tell you now that my guys, they can back me up, and I can trust them. But at that time, I was sweating like crazy. So that's the groom, a pretty good looking fellow. We got these portraits of them, right? All this while, what happened was that the buttons was also over at the bride side. So yeah, the groomsmen getting together. And simple, these photos are done by Eric, one of the photographer that I photograph a lot with. He's also a wedding photographer, so he knows what he's doing. So he done all these photos while I'm over at the bright side. I'm over at the bright side where I get to photograph them. This is a shot of her before she get into her gown. I wanted to get this kind of photos out to add on to the collection. Robin say accidents do happen, and good tip: keep quiet, nicely done. Yeah, so nobody knew what was happening in that sense. Nobody was panicking, and things goes on as usual, as what it is, essentially. So yeah. So in that series of photographs that I selected to be the main photo to show you guys earlier on, so it is not just that photo, it was a photo of like this where she's actually also looking into the camera. So you have a variety of photos. It's just a nice pocket of light from a window coming in, side lighting, and we get this gorgeous photograph for the bride. Essentially, I also took some time over there at this particular. It's a very narrow pathway. Okay, it is a very narrow pathway. I couldn't get like all three bridesmaids all into the same photo over here. We've done that. So it's individual. We get individual shots like this together with the bridesmaids at this particular. It it's a staircase essentially. So this is how it looks like over at the ceremony area. Okay, so there's a lot of wedding details. You can see there's a lot of pretty flowers that's decorated up everywhere at the ceremony area. Okay, you have the welcome board, the chairs, the Tiffany chairs in white that looks very, very pretty. You have all these details, fans, umbrellas, because you know what? Why not? You're over at the Datai where it's gonna be sunny and all. So yeah, there you go. That's where they put on the button. So back to the ladies. The ladies are now ready. They're coming out, going on to the buggy. We get these photos done over at the resort. Beautiful place. There's just so many picture place to photograph over here at Datai, and certainly there's plenty to actually shoot. Right, so this itself is just at the lobby, and it's like the other side of the entire ceremony area. So they have to like go into a buggy and head over to the beach for the ceremony to begin. So everyone was seated down. The grooms on location, and waiting for the bride to come in. So little moments like this we capture. It's essentially the same frame. We're just looking and trying to see what we can be making in terms of photography to people. That's the bride together with the brother walking down the aisle. That's the ceremony. That's a tight shot. We have also wide shots as well. So some little moments over there. So ceremonies are different from weddings to wedding. Some they keep it simple, like Anusha's and Michael's. It was a short and sweet kind of ceremony. Some has a little bit more moment where they do have their own vows that they speak to each other, that kind of thing. So this particular ceremony was pretty quick, and we still will be able to like get this kind of nice little moments that they have together. All right. So you make it a bride, walk out. Everybody is throwing flowers, celebratory. This is a shot where I love when, I especially say destination weddings like this. It's not a big crowd, but it is just nice to gather everybody together to sort of like photograph. You could see almost like everyone here, oh, just almost, the hands are blocking the people. I've got another shot where the hands are all down, but this is like, it's just nicer, with a little bit more action, that kind of thing. So these are the bridesmaids. So after the ceremony, after the family formals that we shoot over at the aisle, we head out to the beach to get some bridal photos like this. The wedding party. Remember the mountains that I was saying that looks really nice during sunset? So that's the back. Yeah. And this is how a wedding is done over at the Datai Langkawi. And what do you think about the whole entire set, guys? So that's the portfolio that just wanted to share with you guys today. Yeah, if you have any question at all, like I say, you can certainly drop me an email, or not email, or rather just comment onto this particular this video, and then I can just respond later, especially if you're watching this later. And if you want to be say, if you have any inquiries in terms of like if my availability, whether your wedding day I'm available, or how to initiate a booking, and how to actually go into to plan your wedding with a wedding photographer, do email me. Scan this QR code on your phone, or just type in jonlow.com/John, where you'll be directed to this page where you can fill in the form, and send me the email so that I can be in contact with you pretty soon and initiate that meeting with you. Right? It can be a Zoom call, to just catch up to what you have in mind and all. Right? So this particular QR code will be highly interesting for you if you want to be talking to me. All right. So yeah, Robin, no problem. He says awesome set, and thanks for sharing. It is gonna be a short kind of live where I demonstrate the work. That my goal at the end of the day is to present something that you guys can see, a good 15 minutes kind of video where you can actually watch this later as well on my YouTube channel. It's not my main YouTube channel, right? So this one is Jon Low Studios. Do subscribe and like and share it with your friends and whatever not. And hopefully when I go live again, you'll be notified and all. Okay. So I guess that's all. Just follow me everything on my socials. This particular one is my main YouTube channel. Okay. If you want to check out my website, is jonlow.com. Anything that is beyond wedding photography, you can see it over at afterwalk.co. I've got plenty of things, man. And also portrait.com.my for, say, if you want to do portraits. All right, that's it. That's all for today, guys. Really, thank you for listening in. I hope this session is an interesting one for you. All right, thank you so much. Thank you.